Hello there. Today, I'm here with Magda, everyone's favorite... hang on a second, I think I'm in the wrong decade. There we go, that's better. Magda, everyone's favorite blight. Whether you rightfully cannot stand this NPC, or just don't care because you floated down to the shrine like I did when I first played, I think we can all agree that solving this shrine quest the intended way is dumb. I mean, what's wrong with going through an entire quote-unquote maze just to be greeted by a flower at the end that can reset you? I mean, that sounds like a blast! But today, we're gonna solve this oh-so-wonderful quest, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but... Oh, no wait, it was 3. 3 different impractical solutions to this quest. But, before we do that, let's talk about how this quest works, because the more we know about it, the easier it'll be to break it. So Magda and her flowery rage are actually several different components to create the illusion that she gets mad at you for stomping on the flowers. The first component being the flowers themselves, more importantly the area tags that make them up. The only purpose of these flowers or their area tags is to turn a flag on and off, mostly on, just on, never off. I actually have no idea why I just said off. If harm comes to these area tags, or if Link just walks into it, the flag turns on. And, quick side note, these triggers actually extend above the flowers themselves. We'll demonstrate that soon. From here, we're going to call this flag Hate Link. Now I could open up the event viewer and track down the actual flag name, but I'm lazy and I don't care. And let's be honest with ourselves, neither do you. The second component is this area tag here. It is a sphere that while Link is inside of it, it first will check if Link is on the ground, and then check if Hate Link is true. And if these conditions are met, Link gets slapped around. Now you might be wondering, why check if Link is on the ground? Good question. The game mostly does this to not snatch a Link out of the air, causing an issue with a cutscene or a monk talking to you like on Eventide or during the Thunder Plains quest. Is it the Thunder Plains? I might be thinking of Final Fantasy X. Now that we have a basic understanding of what's going on here, let's hop on a raft and ride across this sea of flowers. Now, if you didn't know, rafts can actually travel on land because that's how boats work. You remember earlier when I mentioned that the trigger goes slightly above the flowers? Well, the raft is kind of short and Link's feet still touch the trigger. So the flag turns on, and Link is on the ground, and inside the sphere, so... slap. But that's not going to stop me. I just need to be taller. And this block here, and this chest here, might just give Link just enough height to... Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going on here anymore. So for the second solution, I'm bringing back something I did a long time ago. We're gonna mow the entire field to the ground. I could use bomb arrows to do the whole thing, but that's not fun. Earlier, we discussed that the event that actually slaps Link around first checks if Link is on the ground. With moon jumps, we can actually control the on the ground state. Allow me to demonstrate. Here, we have 2 Links. One of them has moon jumps active, and the other does not. The one with moon jumps, when he jumps, the game toggles his on the ground state off. He goes up in the air, he comes back down, and it toggles right back on. With moon jumps active though, the game will only transition the on the ground state when explicitly told to. For example, moving the left analog stick will toggle it on. Turning it off isn't so easy. It involves some throwing, some falling, and some, we'll just call it black magic. While Link stands here and the on the ground state is off, if you hold Z and try to move around, you won't move because Link isn't technically quote unquote on the ground. And jumping in this state will just cause Link to go into a perpetual falling state because it's not explicitly telling him he's on the ground. because for some reason, hitting the ground isn't explicitly changing the state. It's kind of like a give and take, and the give is never given, so nothing is taken. While in this pseudo on the ground, not on the ground state, you can actually slide around on the ground while not technically being quote unquote on the ground. And if you remember from earlier, Flowerblight is specifically checking this state. And because it's off, nothing happens. We can slide right through the flowers. Doing a slide is actually very, very simple. You simply have to move without moving. Yeah, that's not confusing at all. The simplest way is to start a spinning attack, hold ZL, and start moving around. While you're spinning, your on the ground state will not change. If you continue holding ZL and cancel it, you'll begin sliding around, and as long as you hold ZL, you can adjust your slide as needed. And the slide is great and all, but the most important thing here is the spin attack. Because we can slide after a spin attack and not hurt the flowers, we can just constantly spin through the flowers, mowing every last trace of them from existence. That's nice. As a bonus, I did try to ollie clip into the island and then swim under it, but instead I just ended up swimming through the land and I couldn't get on the shrine, and yeah, it didn't work. Lastly, we're gonna give Flowerblight a gift for everything we've done to her today. This bear seems like a pretty good gift, but in order to give her the gift of bear, we need to cross the river. And everything tends to die in the water, so getting the bear across is gonna be annoying. Weirdly enough, bears seem like they're really heavy, but they're actually not. Bears, rather than weighing like NPCs, actually weigh like enemies, and enemies weigh approximately 13 bananas. This actually works out in our favor, because 13 bananas can be lifted with Cryonis blocks. The weight of an NPC is infinitely more and usually breaks the scale whenever I was trying to weigh things. But because we're able to lift up the bear, we can freeze it, run across the river, snatch us up a raft, bring it back, lift it up, slide it right under the bear, break our ice, and go whee all the way across the river. So the solution here is to navigate the maze on bareback. And it was something else. Hey, Magda, got a present for you. Hey, you want this bear? You want this bear? Did the bear just trigger the damage on the flowers? Twice? Okay, so the bear's tantrum is currently constantly damaging flowers and leaving us in a state of purgatory. As long as the flowers keep getting damaged, Hate Link keeps getting turned back on, and we're just left constantly getting attacked by Flowerblight. Touché, Barry. Touché.